character about what I do and don't do as if you know me, because none of you actually know me. Most of y'all just met me through that video. So, it's a lot of judgment. A lot of it's your fault, it's your fault, you didn't do this, that, and the other. Even though I clearly said I did do all those things y'all are suggesting, I followed everything that, is normally said to be done, but no one was listening to me. Everyone's just pointing the finger at me and saying, you're doing all these things wrong, you don't even love God, you have no faith, and you're being tested. And that's when, I had to pause, because that's when I fully realized we're serving two different gods. My God that I am used to serving doesn't test me. Never in all my life, you understand? And I've been walking with God for over a decade now. It's just recently that I started reading the Bible. I understand God in a spiritual way first before I understood God through a book. And I'm so thankful for that, because I understand when something is of God and when something is not of God. And one thing, out of all my years on this earth, God has never tested me. God has never tested my faith to see if I'm faithful to Him or not. And as I said before in that last video, I was even an atheist at one point, and God was still with me and still took care of me and still helped me, even when I shunned Him, even when I didn't believe in Him. So that alone just let me know that we're serving two different gods, because my God doesn't even test. I was expecting more of someone to come and say and be authentic and say, you know what, I've had those thoughts too, and this is how I overcame them, and this is what helped me overcome this, that, and the other. I've been where you've been at in that position, and this is what I did. But no, people wanted to judge me. People wanted to tell me I'm doing this and that wrong. Like, people just assume. So, another thing, a mustard seed of faith is all you need. As if you're saying I don't have any faith. I do have faith. And I've been resting my trust and faith in God. And what has been happening has been the exact opposite of what I'm used to happening. You understand? Even when I did not acknowledge God, God has always been there with me. God has always provided for me, but God has always been, helped me in any situation, even when I was an atheist. From the time I was little till, up until, recently, God has always been there for me. God always provided all the time. You understand? So now that when I read the Bible and I'm following y'all's version of God, things are not happening how they usually are happening. I feel no connection. I'm doing all that stuff where you say pray, have faith, doing this. And listening to people like y'all, I can see why people give up the Bible. People may just go crazy or just, you understand? Because it's not addressing the root problem. It's not you're not reflecting on what could actually be the problem. And I'm so thankful that I understand and know God in a spiritual way first rather than a book, because I understand what is God and what is not of God. Because even when I didn't have faith, God was there and got me through my hardest struggles and times. Even when I was an atheist, God was still there. God never left me. So for you to say I have no faith or I don't love God, God has shown me time and time again I can have no faith. I don't even have to believe in Him, and He's still there.